Researchers have found that plants know when they are being eaten. Vegans gotta eat air now. A 24-hour difference. Dramatic Derek. Why is this house plant silently judging the hell out of me? There is just no way this person isn't a supervillain. The Yulin magnolia blossoms appear to look like little birds. Why do plants know how birds look? My exact level of petty. Went to check why one of my plants was lopsided in its pot, and oh, I asked my neighbor to look after my plants while I am gone. He sent me this. I am losing my mind. Meanwhile, some plants are like, soil is gross. Dies. My dog is trying to find a gentle way to say I have a plant problem. Thinking about how hedges aren't green and soft and fluffy all throughout the inside, but instead look like this. Jacob, I have bad news for you about people. I bought a fern that was simply described as large, and I did not know what the fuck I was getting myself into. Ever since my daughter found out our plant, Serena, wasn't getting enough sunlight, she insists on taking her out for walks while holding her up to the sun. So I caught a mole that's been digging up my plants and told me why is he the most adorable life form in the galaxy. Asparagus grows like it's trying to prank some idiot into thinking this is how asparagus grows. Scientists have managed to revive a plant. This guy is 32,000 years old. The hub promises to plant a tree for every 100 videos watched. I, single-handedly, will save the earth. Not one of these is a plant. The one that looks like a human hand impresses me the most. I lost my dad at Walmart and ended up finding him in the garden section watering plants. Moss shower mat that lives off of the water that falls off after you get out of the shower and feels great on the feet. Great. I've always wanted my feet to be covered in green shit and dirt after I shower. There are 50,000 edible plant species on Earth. Most of humanity lives off only 100, 0.2% of the potential. These are just the kiwis. Seeing moss in any context fills me with deep primal sense of love and contentment. Love is stored in the moss. Just try to look at these images and tell me everything isn't going to be okay. The phenomenon of crown shyness, where trees avoid touching. Who wants to play plant chess? White Japanese wisteria trees. So you're telling me this isn't a painting? I've been waiting 3 months for this. Relax, bro. Only a 2 months difference. Satisfying. The New World Mall in Bangkok was closed in 1997 after it was found to have breached building regulations. Yeah, it looks like they made some of it in the water. Classic mall mistake. This tree is completely hollow, but very much alive. Wow, me too. You ain't special. Delicious breakfast with herbs. Looks like you left the window open while they were cutting the grass. An elderly neighbor is giving away these plants for lonely passers-by. Isolation got you down. Grab someone to keep you company. There's a garden in England dedicated to plants that are deadly and can kill you. It is the most dangerous garden in the world. It holds over 100 killers such as hemlock and the rest. Do they have a gift shop? Gardening enthusiast attaches machete to his favorite plant, which is controlled by the plant's inner electrical noises, giving it the ability to defend itself. Nature is beautiful. In reality, plants are actually farming us by giving us oxygen daily until we all eventually decompose so they can consume us. Hey, Domino's, I didn't know giant bugs were a part of the salad order. You're probably the first person to ever order a salad. They probably just went outside and grabbed whatever they could. Appreciate the effort. Venus flytraps have to put their flowers really far away from their traps so they don't accidentally kill their pollinator, and I love it so much. The fact that it genetically grew to understand it needed to do that is so cool. My mom had a little lemon tree in her backyard for a year, and this is her first lemon. Cute lemon. Thank you for giving me great joy. I literally don't know that you exist. If you ain't holding my plants like this for me, I don't want it. My poor dad was so proud of the watermelon he grew. Turns out it was a big cucumber. Oh hey MTV, welcome to my crib. Normalize pods with architecture for insects. This looks very unsafe. Where are the railings on the stairs? Scientists find Mozambique's untouched rainforest on top of an African mountain. Good, don't touch it. I've had this plant for like 5 months and I've been watering it and I just discovered that it's fucking plastic. Just heard of the bear paw cactus and I'm like, I'm so in love. I want one so bad. Hydrangea. Fun fact, depending on what soil you plant this determines what the color is going to be. Plant people really live in apartments like this and don't see any issue. Let's plant catnip, he said. It prevents mosquitoes, he said. What could go wrong, he said. Could I interest you in plant? Yes, I have never related to anything more. Thrives on neglect. How it started versus how it's going. When my boyfriend's dog drinks water, it gets splashed all around, so I made a small garden for around the bowl. It fell a long time ago, but it never gave up. Okay, new plan. What happened to the plant? Oh, what the fuck is that? And why is it all sad and alone? Look at its haircut. Haha, nerd. That's why. I just found out that some flowers flowers usually face the sun, but when they cannot find it, they face each other, and I don't know, it made me smile a lot. This tortoise has plants growing on top of it. They called it him, the Wandering Forest. Nice try. I know a Pokemon when I see one. Paper flowers by I can't even. Next on my plant dream list, that name. Can we talk about how calming this color is? Plants outside. Concrete. Plants at home. Is this tap water? I'm allergic. Oh, to be reincarnated as a small animal, so I can vibe in a field of flowers without a worry in life. Plants really be like, I do not vibe with this dirt, and die. Mutant dandelions. My god, the third one almost looks like a human hand. Nature is amazing. How am I doing? Tree growing around power line. An Italian company has come up with an organic burial pods that are biodegradable. It will convert the dead into nutrients for the trees, so instead of a graveyard, there will be a sacred forest. This rare orchid is known as the flower of the Holy Spirit. It only blooms once a year. Before blooming, it looks like praying saints, and once it blooms, it turns into a flying dove. Having plants is good for mental health because you can track your decline via their decline. Name this plant, please. George. India breaks Guinness World Record by planting 66 million trees in 12 hours along the Narmada River. When I was 8, my mum planted a tree by my bedroom window for me. I'm 20 and about to move out. Look at her now. Husband spends 2 years planting thousands of scented flowers for his blind wife to smell and get her out of depression. If I walk into a girl's house and she's got like 50 plants, I know she is a keeper because she can already take care of a bunch of useless fucks. What's one more? Imagine hating England. There is no country in the world more beautiful. I feel like when people say, I hate England, they are not referring to the plants and cows. Imagine waking up one morning, having a stretch, and opening your bedroom curtains, and there in your window plant box are 3 sleeping squirrels. Do not forget to drink water and get some sunlight, because you're basically a houseplant with more complicated emotions. My dad just walked into the room, looking sad as hell, with his fists closed, and said, I just realized my office plant is going to die, because he is working from home. Anyone out there know what kind of plant this is? The cutest. Yes sir. The nerve plant will faint when they need something, to be watered, to be removed from the sun when they are too cold. However, they almost always recover quickly once their needs are met. Dramatic bitch. I want one. I can't fucking believe it. Grass type Pokemon. Leaf sheep, the only animal that can photosynthesize. Literally forgot to water for 1 day. The dramatics. Me, if I was a plant. Picking up the pieces and moving on. Scientists. Talking to your plants helps them grow. Come on, grow faster you little shit. Vegan swimming pool. I love that this implies water isn't vegan. There are bridges in the Netherlands that are specifically designed for animals to safely cross highways. They are fully equipped with grass and trees to look natural, and have been so successful the country has installed over 600 of them. China is constructing a forest city that will eat its own toxic smog, using 1 million plants and 40,000 trees to combat global warming. This is the future we want. There was a bunny eating all the flowers. You go little bun. Fight the power. I dropped out of Harvard to become a plant photographer. David Hampton planted large trees in Douglas Fir Forest in Oregon to create a smiley face. It returns each fall and makes a happy showing. If you give this to your plants, then why do you give this to your children? Said, if you fertilize your plants with cow shit, why didn't you rub shit on your fucking kids? Kenya installs the first solar plant that transforms ocean water into drinking water. Well done, Japan. Japan's newspapers will now have seeds in them, so they can grow into plants after use. Flower owners. Wow, that is a pretty rose you got there, pal. That's not a rose, that's a ranunculus, you uncultured swine. Plant owners. Nice plant, bro. What kind is it? Green. Stop saying start a family when you mean have kids. A couple is still a family. A single person and her cat is still a family. A couple and their plants are still a family. Forget spirit animals. Is it possible to have a spirit plant? I'm not dead. This is just how I look. The size of this leaf I found in a park. Yeah, they're just comparing ridiculously sized leaves. I like that the Venus flytrap could just get energy from the sun, but chooses violence. Reminder of, reason for eggplant's name. Oh my god, I have wondered about this my whole life. Oh, how did I live like a third of my entire human life on Earth not knowing this? I've always wondered. Plant chair. I wanted. Every day I don't live in an abandoned greenhouse with a horrifying backstory is a day lost. There was a wall here once. The tree remembers, but now the tree wind blows through roots that once nestled among stones. Craigslist house share ad. I have a garden growing in my shower, so you have to use eco-friendly hair products. You will see worms and other insects, and you will occasionally see a spider too, but they all help out the ecosystem when you were a crazy plant person before it was cool. Asked my mom to open the blinds for my plants, and she really went above and beyond. I love being a grand plantrant. Plants are just like too much sun, not enough sun, ground too wet, ground too dry, the pH balance is wrong, there's not enough drainage, I don't like terracotta, feed me, stop feeding me, God was killed here, I do not vibe with this soil. Then the plants in nature be like, is that a crack in the concrete? I hope my walking buddy knows he's going to help me carry these plants I found in the garage, in the garbage, thinking about moon gates and how they look like they're passageways to another world. When humans and nature collide. Mobster voice. Hey boss, I got to use the flowers you wanted. The flowers. Hey, I'm growing here. Swamp in a boulder. Not sure whether to comment. This is a nice boulder. Or get out, because honestly both apply in this situation. A woman who lost her engagement ring 13 years ago while gardening never thought she would see it again. But it sprouted up in a carrot. A 1-carat ring. Blocked. Me, giving you a heartfelt gift. Patch of moss. This is absolutely a witch's familiar gathering ingredients. This is all good until the airbag malfunctions from moisture damage and your passenger takes a cactus through the face at 300 miles per hour. I made a cute cemeterarium. This is nice. That surprised look when you show someone that broccoli didn't occur naturally and humans bred it from wild mustard. Indian University is turning their campus roof into a garden that will cool down the interior and provide better ventilation. I had a lovely little kitchen herb garden growing on my front porch. All of my plants started to become really raggedy and then died, but the thyme and oregano draping all over the side. I was so confused. Today, I solved the mystery. This is not my dog. Did you just unearth a cat from a pot of soil? A fine harvest. We are blessed. She spent 2 years taking care of the perfect plant. Then she realized it's plastic. I feel like these last 2 years have been a lie. The orange shrub cat requires many pets to grow big and strong. Contrary to other shrubs, the shrub is deeply advertised to being watered. A coworker was gone for a week, so I decided to plant grass on his desk. He ended up being gone for a month, 3 months. That is how long my husband stood by and watched me water a fake plant. So if you're asexual, are you like a plant? Yes. Begins to photosynthesize and lives forever. When I remember that I live in a rented house and I will one day have to move out with over 300 plants. My plants, please sir, I need water. I am dying. My plants after I water them. Wow, that was way too much water. Jackass fucking idiot. Plants are the new pets. Pets are the new kids. Then what are kids? Kids are like exotic animals. You've either got to be a little bit crazy or rich to have them. Swap your boring lawn grass with red creeping thyme. Grows 3-inch tall max. Requires no lawn. Requires no mowing. Lovely lemony scent. Can repel mosquitoes. It grows all year long and better for local biodiversity. I just don't understand how this happened. But here is a picture of a lemon from my backyard. What the ever-loving fuck. When life gives you lemons, you make sacrifices. My cactus has had slouching issues for years, but look, it grew a flower crown. In a desert in Chile, there is a 3,000-year-old densely packed shrub. It looks like moss covering rocks, but it's actually a cluster of branches and leaves that is so hard you can stand on it. To be a Labrador retriever, sleeping on an ivy-covered windowsill overlooking a canal. See those weird pillars? Those were trees. See that strange lump in the middle? That was a house. Everything green you see in this photo is that thing. That thing is an apocalyptic nightmare. They smother every other living plant to death. Can't wait to walk down the aisle. Isn't she cute? I love you Vera very much. I would cry. Before my mum passed away, she gave my dad strict instructions to water the plants in the bathroom. He's been religiously watering them and keeping them alive. They look so amazing, he decided to take them to his new home, only to discover they are plastic. Can hear my mum chuckling. Happy 1-year anniversary to the 60p Morrison's basil my flatmate innocently bought when we moved in. To anyone who has ever killed a supermarket herb plant, I'm afraid yours died, so that our overlord could reign supreme. Once, I was at a plant store, and I have this subconscious habit of pulling leaves off of plants, so I did that, and stuck the leaf in my pocket, and when I got home I found it, and I felt so bad I dropped it in a pot with a bromeliad, and a few weeks later it had taken root and started growing, and that's the story of how I pirated a plant. This time of the year, I grab weeds while I'm walking my dog, and weave them into little wreaths that I leave around the neighborhood, specifically because there is a woman next door who is furious because she thinks they are sign of witchcraft. I encourage you to do the same. When the train always stops in exactly the same place, the air conditioner always drips in exactly the same place, and a tiny ecosystem is born. Imagine waking up here every morning. At first, I would wake up feeling so happy, but then I would look in the mirror and see some sort of bug on my face and cry. This was a man, dressed as a plant, making pigeon noises at people walking by. I said hello and asked if it was okay to take his picture, and then asked why he was dressed as a plant. He said, "I'm just working through some stuff. Thank you for for asking. No one's asked yet. I've been dealing with stuff the wrong way. Did I kill a plant? Or did the plant not have what it takes to thrive in this fast-paced environment? Did you offer the plant a competitive salary for a dynamic, self-starter, entry-level position with a room for advancement at a company who plays just as hard as they work? Circus tree. 6 individual sycamore trees were shaped, bent, braided to form this. Actually, pretty easy. Trees don't reject tissues from other trees in the same family. You bend the tree to another tree when it's in its sapling. Scrape off the bark on both trees where they touch. Add some damp moss around them to keep everything slightly moist and bind together. Then wait a few years. The trees will have grown together. In 18th century folklore, unspoken water was water fetched by beneath a bridge, the road over which leads into a cemetery. The water was supposed to have exceptional curative properties, so long as the person collecting it remained silent the entire time. Plants love to be tickled. A recent study shows that on average, plants that are tickled once a day grow 20% faster. I am looking this up right now. Okay, I don't know about the tickled, but I've found out something incredible. Plants don't like to be touched. Yeah, I'm not fucking reading this, I'm sorry. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video.